Okay, this is problem number 21 on the 7th homework of the year. This is the problem concerning the swimming pool, and we have to find out the rate of change of the depth when the volume is at 2,000 and 3,000 feet respectively. So we have our drawing of the pool, which you should have, we've got our width of 15, length of 40, deep end of 10, shallow end of 3. Very poorly drawn. Believe it or not, I am in AP Art and I'm minoring in art in college. Ugh. So there's two parts. We have a triangle and a rectangle. Not drawn as prisms because of that. That was awful. So we find out the volume of the whole pool, and the triangular part, and this is the formula for it, is 2,100 cubic feet. The rectangular part is 1,800 cubic feet, for a total that isn't terribly important of 3,900 cubic feet. So we want to find out the rate of change of the depth of the pool when the volume is at 2,000 cubic feet. So the width, which is 15, is constant. So 15 is a constant right there. But the height and the base are not. Though we do know that the height is equivalent to the base times 7 over 40, because we have this triangle where the base is 40, or the long leg is 40, and the height, I originally wrote 10 because the deep end is 10 feet, but it's 7 feet because over here we have 3 feet. So we have the height equals base times 7 over 40. So if we plug base times 7 over 40 in for height, find the base and then find the height and just do a little algebra, we get the height is 6.831 feet and the base is 39.036 feet. I'm not sure if you can see that. The driveway is a little rough right there. So you can see I'm doing this with chalk on the driveway. So now we come over here and do actual calculus. Yeah. So the rate of change of the volume, or a dV dt, is 25 feet per minute. Or cubic feet, rather. Oh, that should be cubed, but whatever. And since we're only dealing with the triangular prism right now, we only have this part of the volume formula and not this part over here, because that part doesn't even exist yet. So we have 25 equals dd dt times b times 15 over 2 plus d times db times 15 over 2. And we don't have dw because dw is 0, so that whole part would just equal 0 when we add it. So there's no point in having it. And I didn't plan out this out perfectly well when I wrote it, so I didn't have a lot of space for everything. So we multiply everything by 2, and we get 50 equals dd dt times 30 point some junk. Mr. Littman used to do that. None of you guys ever had him. He retired after my year. He used to teach honors trig, but he used to do that squiggly thing. Times 15 plus, more numbers, 6 point something, times dB dt times 15. And I crossed out the dB dt because we can come back over here. H equals b times 7 over 40. Rearrange that. We get b equals h times 40 over 7. And the same goes for dd dt and dB dt. So, because the depth is the same thing as the height, I switched them in the middle because it was on my paper and then I switched it. So if that's a little confusing, just remember, in this problem, dd is essentially dh. Sorry about that. So we get 7 over 40, and when we just plug that in, we know that 7 over 40, or 40 over 7, my bad, times 6 point the junk equals 39.036, because we, up here with the algebra, with your calculator, you figured that out. So we have, once we multiplied divided everything by 15, rather, to get rid of our two 15s, we have 10 over 3 equals 2, it's just 39 point the stuff times dd dt plus itself, so we get 2 times that, divided all by 2, divided all by 39.036, and we get dd dt equals 0.049 feet per minute when the volume is at 2,000 feet. Alright, on to part B. Here we are concerned when the volume is at 3,000 feet, cubic feet. Up here, we know that that means that we are dealing with this rectangular portion because we have the volume of 2100 is the volume of the triangular portion, volume of 1800, etc. So that means that the volume, this actually isn't terribly important, but it sort of just visualizes everything. 3000 equals 40 times 15 times depth minus 7, because the 7 feet is the depth of the triangle, which has been satisfied by this portion plus 2100. We get the depth is 8.5. Again, that's actually not that important. Not sure why I wrote it. Sometimes it's helpful to just write things out that aren't terribly useful to help your understanding of the problem better. So we get 25 times dd dt, or equals dd dt times 14 times 15, my bad. And then just divide. dd dt equals 0.042. And now just a little reality check. This number should be smaller than this number, which it is, because if you look up here, originally in the first problem, the depth is, something like right around here, drawing a slanted line. It's the length that it has to fill isn't as long, so it should be rising quicker than it is over here. So because this number is greater than this number, that's how we know that we are correct.